What's up, family? This is Daku, and welcome to Operation Black Independence. Today, I want to give you a few pointers on what you need to think about while you're planning your garden. Yes, we don't live in a natural environment, so essentially, especially when you live in an urban area, you're going to have to recreate the environment for your plants to grow. The first thing you need to think about is how much space you have available to grow your food. The amount of space you have to dedicate towards your garden is going to determine what type of plants you can plant in your garden. In this raised bed, we have 12 square feet of space in which to grow our food. Let's say you want to grow tomatoes. Now you have vine tomatoes and you have bush tomatoes. If you want to grow bush tomatoes, it's going to take 9 of these squares. So that's only going to leave you with 3 squares, or 3 square feet to garden. Now if you have a vine tomato plant, it's only going to take 1 square, or 1 square foot. So you could grow 2 tomato vines and still have 10 square feet in which to garden. So remember, the space that you have is going to determine what type of plants you can grow. Another thing you need to keep in mind is that some plants are shade-loving plants and some are sun-loving plants. If you have a sun-loving plant, you don't want to plant that plant in the shade. You want to make sure you plant that plant in a sunny area, an area that gets plenty of sun. If you have a shade-loving plant, you want to plant that plant in an area that gets plenty of shade. Most plants like 6 to 8 hours, or need 6 to 8 hours of sun in order to thrive. We get 9 to 10 hours of sun in this area here. But we also have other areas in which we plant our shade-loving plants. Now the third thing you want to keep in mind is that you want to keep your garden near a water source. That's why many of the ancient societies made sure they lived by rivers, by streams, by lakes. They needed to be very close to a water source. Now some people like myself are very crazy, and we have our garden a little ways away, probably about 50 feet away from the water source. But I like to work out, but I don't like to go to the gym. So instead of going to the gym, I have these 5-gallon and 3-gallon buckets scattered around here, and I use them to transport the water to the garden. This is a very good workout, old-fashioned workout. Just fill your buckets up with water and your legs will become very strong, especially if you live in a hilly area like myself. So those are the 3 basic things we need to keep in mind while we plan our vegetable garden. Really, planting should take place sometime back in January or February, and here we are, April the 5th. So if you're going to start planting today, you need to move rather quickly. So join Operation Black Independence. The more of us that are producing our food, the less money we'll need to go to these stores and buy food. I remember I grew up in a very international area, and at the time it was more black than anything, American black. But as I grew older, our Mexican brothers and sisters moved in. Our African and Caribbean brothers and sisters moved in. And all of their African and Americana grocery stores came in and ran these big giant corporations out of business. If they can do it, we can do it. So grow your own food, join Operation Black Independence, and help to produce for our own people. This has been Daku Akabo Wa Akatu.